And Reiki means a universal life force energy, and it's very akin to chi energy, which flows through your meridians. And what a Reiki healer is actually able to do is channel this universal life force energy for the benefit of the receiver. And within us all, universal life force energy flows every single day throughout your body. It flows throughout plants, throughout animals. And when this universal life force energy gets disrupted or disconnected or blocked in a way, this makes people uncomfortable and feel uneasy, and eventually it can lead to disease. And what a Reiki healer and Reiki does is go into the body and into your meridian system and realign or reestablishes this energy flow of universal life force energy within you. So this energy flows naturally and perfectly for optimal health and well-being.
Well, welcome once again to Raising the Consciousness of Humanity. I have a special guest on today. And before I introduce him, I want to just call out, if you like these videos, please like, subscribe, and share. Share with somebody who may want to receive this exact same information. And especially this video today, because today I have Jonas Kristensen. He is from Denmark, and he is a Reiki master who has well established himself through several YouTube channels and has a video pretty much for every typical healing modality or thing that you may want. So, Jonas, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you so much, Ron. Thank you for having me on the show. It's an honor.
Yeah, I'm super excited, and I know our guests are. And to start off with, tell us a little bit about what caused you to seek this type of healing modality, and what is your journey like? What did you have that maybe triggered within you to want to go into this path and dedicate so much time that you have to being a Reiki master and doing what you do?
Of course. So essentially, before my early 20s, I would describe myself as a completely normal guy interested in sports, science, and I hadn't really had any specific touch with religion or spirituality at that point in time. And the start to my journey actually happened when I worked on a ferry in Denmark, where I worked in the restaurant area, usually in the VIP section where I waited tables. And I've done this millions of times, walked around to the tables, spoken to the customers. Then suddenly one day, I come around to this table, and at this table is an older woman and her husband. And as I get up to this table, she just grabs my arm, and she looks at me like she's seen a ghost, and she says to me, "You're going to help so many people." And she looks almost scared, like she had a message or something. And at that point, I've never heard anything about channeling or spiritual messages, so I thought that maybe this is a joke. But I looked to her husband, and he just sort of had this aura of stability and groundedness. So I thought that this sounded interesting, and I started to speak to her. And she was from something called Organization of Light, which, from what I know now, is an organization where they practice spiritual practices and meditation and intuitive practices. And I had this experience with this older lady, and it of course hit me in a way, and I brought it with me home, and thought that this was just a funny story, and I could tell other people that I met this older woman who had this reaction to me. Then about a week later, I stumbled across this book called I Am the Word, which was a guy online who was whispering, and he said that he hadn't written this book himself. He channeled this book and he was channeling some entities called the guides. And at that point in time, I had read maybe a couple of books in my life, but I just knew I had to have this book. So I bought it and I started reading it. And this book, from what I know now, of course, I've read this book and all the sequels to it, was about awakening to Christ consciousness. And in this book, you had of your own free will, you had to say certain statements to receive these activations in the book. And when I did this, I started having these experiences with energy. Um, and this book just unlocked something in me as I read on and as I gave permission for me to receive this transformation or this higher alignment to Christ consciousness. And right at that moment, it was like I walked into a portal to a whole nother life or a whole nother dimension of myself. And that specific point in time was what I see as my awakening to my spiritual self or my divine self, you could say. And from that point in time, I just started having this incredible passion that I never knew existed for everything spiritual. So I read all the books that I could get my hands on, both in terms of healing modalities, spirituality, yoga, meditation, also supernatural stuff. Um, and I just kept studying and studying. And right at this time, I moved to the capital of Denmark, Copenhagen. Some of your viewers might know this city. And in this city, I came from the mainland. So all of a sudden, I was all by myself. I was studying for my bachelor's degree at that point in time, and I later on took my master's degree. And during my studies, I just had this freedom that I'd never had before to discover all these places. And specifically in Copenhagen, what really interested me was Theosophical Society. And Theosophical Society taught me so much about energy and also world service. So being of service to your fellow human beings and animals, and of course the entire planet. And in Theosophical Society, we did world service meditations, or you could also call it light meditations, where you sit as a group of people and you channel energy for the betterment of mankind and for healing planet Earth and all beings on Earth. And these were some of my first experiences where I felt energy just flowing through me, and I felt this energy just being present in the entire room. Often, what I would describe as pure love energy, where I just felt spontaneously emotional just being in these rooms because it was so beautiful and so uplifting. Um, and then I did this for a long, long time, and I started, having these incredible experiences as my consciousness was raising more and more, and I felt like my frequency was vibrating at a higher level because I practiced this world service almost every single day. And at that point, I knew what Reiki was, but I hadn't become introduced to it yet. So what I was actually introduced to first in terms of healing modalities was something called pranic healing. And the way I was introduced to pranic healing was I did meditation, which all of your viewers can actually access as well on YouTube. It's called the Twin Hearts meditation. And it's a very special meditation which was created by a master from the Philippines called Master Jonas. And it's a meditation where you open up your crown chakra and you channel energy from your crown chakra out through your heart chakra and then out through your hands, like a traditional healer. And this energy you then channeled and sent to the earth and to all the people you know, and to all of humanity. And I did this meditation over and over again, and it just felt incredible. And in a week's time or so, I suddenly had this experience of what you would describe as a Kundalini awakening. So
Mm.
I had an experience where energy from my spine or from the root of my spine or the root chakra traveled up through my spine and then out through my heart. And this was such an incredible experience where I felt incredible ecstasy, and not only in the moment.
Mm.
It was like several hours later, I felt like I was almost on drugs, and I had this incredible unity experience.
Mm.
And it was, of course, out from my own interpretation, a heart awakening, or what you would call a Kundalini awakening out through the heart chakra. Um, and then I, of course, got incredibly interested in healing and the healing modalities. But when I remember back, I always felt like when I had this awakening that I had some sort of identity as a healer, and I wanted to help other people, and I wanted to heal other people, both physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And then I, of course, practiced my spirituality in these healing meditations. And a couple of years later, I found Reiki, and I received my initiations from Reiki Master Richard Mutlak here in Denmark. And within the span of 2 years, I have received all the initiations, and I became a master healer or Reiki master. And from that time on, I just knew I had to use this tool to help as many people as possible. And that's when I started my YouTube journey as well, because I felt like when I healed one person, that was incredible. And it's nothing like it, because you're so blessed when you bless other people in return.
Mm.
But when you use social media, you can reach thousands of people with just one healing. And the incredible thing about Reiki is that it doesn't divide itself up. If you heal 1,000 people with the same healing, it doesn't get divided into 1,000. Every person gets the same amount of healing from the same video, and that's why I feel like Reiki through social media is such an incredible tool.
Yeah, so you've combined what would be a spiritual aspect of healing with a phenomena called social media, YouTube being probably one of the more dominant ones, to reach masses, to reach a lot of people. And Jonas, it's amazing your story. It's like it sometimes it just takes that one moment, like you said, that lady in the restaurant that opened you up to a journey. And I love how your journey unfolded in the different places and people and aspects and books, and how you had the desire to keep going, and obviously beyond that the desire to serve humanity in a special way.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like the story for me is also something that just comes back in my mind. And the funny thing is about the message from the old woman. It could just be some message that I heard, and then maybe I forgot about it again. But the funny thing is that um, as I said, I discovered and I studied everything that I could get my hands on, and also specifically astrology. And astrology was very pivotal in showing me, the blueprint of the soul and of my own soul as well, and telling me where I needed to go in this life. Um, and astrology, coupled with this message from this woman, was something that just came up for me so many times, and this message so many times where I had to do spiritual work just came up in me, combined with pure emotion and passion. And I just know deep in my heart that I have this spiritual fire for a reason, and I feel so, you could say, spiritually ambitious for a reason. And like so many other spiritual enthusiasts, there's no doubt in my mind that I have a very specific dharma or destiny to serve mankind. And I think Reiki is only the beginning for me. So I'm
Mm.
really excited for the future, and I think also what you're doing, sharing so many spiritual messages, and helping people raise their consciousness to a higher level is exactly what 2025 and beyond is about, because
Yeah.
I think we're approaching what many call the golden age of humanity, and an experience of the world that is much higher and much more beautiful, in spite of on what we see on TV these days.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you hit the nail on the head with that. And even like astrology, I even noticed that myself when I would look into my natal chart or human design or any of those aspects. It's almost like where you're receiving a permission slip to be you.
Mhm.
It's already there, and you start to notice a little bit, you become more in aligned with the who you truly are and how you're meant to serve, as well as just like a stranger telling you, hey, you've got something special about you. I mean, all of
Mm.
that is something that nudges us along the way. And so your story is perfect. Now, for people who don't understand or know what Reiki is, and I know some of the people that tune into this video do and may know quite a bit, but for somebody who doesn't know, can you give some fundamental backgrounds? What is Reiki, and what does it do? How does it serve?
Of
If you
course.
give some background on that.
Yeah, definitely. So Reiki is a Japanese healing modality, and it is essentially the ability of the Reiki practitioner to channel energy. And a lot of your viewers might be aware of terms called chi or ki energy, from the Asian culture. And Reiki means a universal life force energy. And it's very akin to chi energy, which flows through your meridians. And what a Reiki healer is actually able to do is channel this universal life force energy for the benefit of the receiver. And within us all, universal life force energy flows every single day throughout your body. It flows throughout plants, throughout animals. And when this universal life force energy gets disrupted or disconnected or blocked in a way, this makes people uncomfortable and feel uneasy, and eventually it can lead to disease.
Mm,
And what a Reiki healer and Reiki does is go into the body and into your meridian system and realign or reestablishes this energy flow of universal life force energy within you. So this energy flows naturally and perfectly for optimal health and well-being. And what I've discovered with Reiki is that Reiki can do much more than this, because a lot of people also in the scientific community, they relate Reiki to, of course, stress relief and pain relief.
mhm.
Um, and Reiki, as many practitioners know, is so much more than that. And it can bring you to higher states of consciousness. It can flow with intention when you learn how to do this. And it can even you know, this sounds wild, but break the barriers of time and also space as well, which is exactly what happens when you do remote healing. Because if people are familiar with my YouTube channel and my YouTube videos, it's healing sessions, remote healing sessions recorded maybe even a year back in time. But a year later, another person can sit right now in this present moment, and they can receive this energy that I transmitted a year ago from a different place in the world, and they receive this energy just as powerfully as if they received it from me in this present moment. So Reiki is an incredible tool, and I believe that it can help anybody. And what a lot of people have to learn if they had experiences with Reiki, which was not as they expected, is that a lot of um, the experiences people have with Reiki is very dependent on their, firstly, energy sensitivity, but also a lot of times with their belief system. So if a person has this sharp belief that they just don't believe that this is going to work, or this is going to happen, this is going to help me, this can actually affect the session that they will receive. So I recommend, if you try Reiki, or if you try it online, it's free. Give it some time, and tell yourself that you're going to give it 30 days to receive this specific Reiki, about once a day or once every other day. And as time goes on, you will build up this energy sensitivity, and you will also experience the benefits over time. But you just have to be too patient with it, for some people at least.
Yeah, so I'm glad you shared that because, we're all curious, but sometimes skeptic, right?
Mm.
And yet, I think to the viewer or the receiver, what I have found myself doing is before I click on your video, I
Mm-hmm.
will, whatever because you have them for different modalities, different healing, and, as well as clearing, I would say, emotional blocks or whatever. What I've done is I say, thank you for this video and a time with this video. Allow me to be open and allow me to receive the blessing of this video, right? So that's what I will do, because I want to be in that state of receiving and open up to it. I think that for me, I feel that's important. Maybe that's not important for everybody, but for me, I feel that's important, just to kind of set the intention that I'm surrendering any belief and I'm allowing it. And Jonas, the thing that kind of happened for me was years ago, and I like how you talked about this time and space. We always wrap our heads around an understanding of that. But years ago, I had read a book about, it was called, I think, Dream Healer, and it was about remote healing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a visual thing, and even the author drew pictures within it. And I used it when my dad had hurt his knee, and he was supposed to go to the doctor, I think, the next day. Instead, he didn't go to the doctor the next day. Instead, he visited me. He drove up, and we ended up going to get lunch. And the funny thing was, he said not only was his knee better, he even mentioned that he felt it actually getting better. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, like, around 11 o'clock at night. And then I thought to myself, wait a second, 11 o'clock at night was probably about the time that I was actually going through this process of remote healing. To me, it confirms something, to say, yes, doesn't matter the location. And I agree with you, it doesn't matter time, because you've you if a person is open to receive, that energy is coming through, and I feel it. And I know some of your videos were recorded maybe a year ago, right? So I like, yeah, that truly says a lot.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and it's a great point. Um, and the non-local experience of Reiki is just something that tells you that we as human beings are limiting this tool so much, and there's so much more that this tool has to offer us if we just allow ourselves to let go of our limiting beliefs and what we think is possible. Um, because when you can receive something beyond time and space, what else can you use this tool for? And this is also something that has been very transformative for me on my path. You know, slowly releasing all these limiting beliefs, and I've made, you know, a thing out of this. Whenever I meet something that wants to limit me, be it a thought or a person, in terms of what's possible with Reiki. That's also why you see that I've made so many videos, and that I'm not shying away from any topics that might be taboo or anything like this. Is because I want to be a person who breaks the limitations and who is not afraid to show people what's possible. Because I feel like when I'm gone one day, I don't want a lot of things to be undone. I want to prove people what's possible. And like I told you, I think that we're on the precipice of a totally transformative age for humanity, and I think stuff like this, energy healing and receiving energy and elevating your consciousness, no matter where you live in the world, is the beginning of all that. Because I think that if we collectively raise our consciousness together, this is when the magic really starts happening. Because what we're talking about right now, about believing something is possible and then making it possible, is exactly what can help manifest so much more in this reality. Because when a big community of people believe something to be possible, then it becomes more possible. And I think that the more people start having these experiences of what, for example, Reiki can do and what they're capable of, and reaching their own true potential, that's when we really start evolving as a human race and reaching these higher states of consciousness, which is also, you know, the path of ascension that I believe that we're all on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well said. And I remember Dolores Cannon in one of her books, she wrote something, I think something to the effect that one person at the right vibration could walk into an entire room and heal the entire room without saying
Hmm.
a word,
Yeah.
just by their presence.
Hmm.
It's not what's taught to us, but yet it is what we self-discover, and we find maybe within some of the ancient or more esoteric or things that may not have been in front of us. It never really came through mainstream religion, but we're now seeing the emergence of this. And to your point, like channeling of, whether it's channeling of energy and healing, channeling of channelers that channel messages, we're starting to now be open more to this. And I think when we reach that, critical mass of consciousness, then that has that we're already seeing it, I think. We're
Hmm.
already seeing that transformation that's happening. And I know, to me, I don't own a TV, so I don't watch TV. So I don't really know exactly from a day-to-day perspective of what's going out on in the news, but I I do know from, I guess, neighbors that tell me, or something you might see on social media. But how can, like, if a person says, okay, I want to be a contributing factor into the benefit of humanity, and that's a lot of the people listening to this video, that's what they want, that's how they feel called. What suggestion would you give them? I mean, my suggestion would be to go to your YouTube channel, which
Yeah, I'm
I'm
very
going to put all your
happy.
YouTube channels down below so people will see that. But yeah, what suggestion would you give somebody that could maybe say, hey, how do I do two things: raise my vibration and serve humanity in my own unique way?
Yeah, I'm very happy that you asked this question because, like we talked about earlier, you know, service to humanity is something that's very much a big part of my spiritual identity. And the place that I got this, purpose was through theosophy, which was very much from the books of Alice Bailey. And she, in her books, it's incredible and very great esoteric work that she did. Several books about the nature of reality, about astrology, about humanity's future, and also service to humanity. And she talks about serving other people and serving humanity as, you know, the pinnacle of soul evolution. And what that means is that when we as human beings we wake up to our spiritual nature, or we start becoming awakened, this is only the beginning. And this, like, if you take my journey, for example, I got interested in everything spiritual, and there's so many paths to take. And there's also paths that will lead you to maybe even a darker place, or there's a path that will lead you to ascension, which is a higher place of light and love. And I think that, and also as Alice Bailey talks about this, that if you skip all this discovery or experimentation with all these different paths, you will always eventually uh, end up at serving other people. So if you have service to humanity as your core direction, this will help you a lot, because as Alice Bailey in her books talks about, serving humanity and serving as a soul is something that burns karma just by itself. So doing good things through, for example, it could be helping other people physically, could be donating money, doing altruistic service, or something like that. This is something that helps the soul. This is something that lifts your vibration um, to a higher level. And an easy tool for this, because this can be something that's maybe daunting for other people. How will I do this? How will I go about helping other people if I don't have the tools? But that's where Reiki comes in my opinion, because Reiki is such an incredibly easy tool to use, and you can use it in a very pragmatic sense, as a healer, but also as someone who is not initiated into Reiki. And on my channel, you find Reiki videos for healing the earth and healing humanity. So these videos make you a transmitter or a channel for Reiki energy, specifically intended to heal planet Earth and blessing other people and blessing humanity, and even blessing your own family if you want to go closer to home. And the cool thing about this is you simply just have to start this video every single day. I have, for example, a video called Healing and Blessing Planet Earth. And what I've done for several years now is that I put this video on for like 3 hours, even though I'm at work, even though I'm doing other stuff. And the energy just flows through my channel or my body into the earth. And what you experience in your consciousness is just that you literally get lifted up, and you feel just heaviness, low vibrational energy just gets taken away, gets purified from your energy system, and you just align to this higher level of consciousness naturally and automatically. And this is what I would say the consequence of serving selflessly. It is that you are blessed in return. And I just want to make this recommendation to your viewers, that you can use this type of meditation every single day to heal planet Earth and to heal other people. And it's so easy and so effective, and you don't even have to leave your couch if you don't want to.
Nice. Well, thanks for bringing attention to the videos that you've created specifically for Healing Planet Earth, because I think I'd like to highlight that one as well down below this video, so people could have quick access to that.
That'll be great.
So what came to my mind too was grounding, like bare feet on the ground.
Mhm.
I know that I've heard about that practice. Actually, I do that myself, and I spend a little bit of time every day with myself bare feet on the ground. How much is that helpful in your regards?
I think grounding is very important. What we're talking about right now before this was ascension, and grounding and ascension is equally important, because a lot of people, when they start the spiritual journey and they want to raise their frequency, they want to raise their vibration and consciousness, they just go up and up and up and up. And you could use the crown chakra as a metaphor, and you can really travel deep and high within the crown chakra. But if you forget to ground yourself and to stay present in this life, in this 3D reality, you can start feeling uncomfortable. So, like you said, it's very important to also do grounding practices. This could be by sitting in nature, having bare feet on the ground, but you could also do grounding meditations as well. And on my channel, I also have Reiki for grounding, and
Nice.
specific meditation that you can do daily to ground yourself is just sit and close your eyes, and then imagine, if you sit close to the earth, and you can even sit outside on the grass, and then imagine that you're root chakra, or your buttocks, you could say, starts having roots into the ground. And then just imagine your root chakra elongating deep into the ground and into the heart of the earth, and connecting with Mother Earth or Gaia. And this is really helpful to stabilize your energy and to feel this nice base level of consciousness where you don't feel uneasy like a lot of people do. And it can help a lot of people just relieve stress and anxiety as well.
Nice. And for those people out there that have a difficult time visualizing, you talked about your root chakra, visualizing it coming down into the earth, deep into the
Mhm.
earth. Are there any tips to help somebody become better at visualizing?
That's a great question. I would recommend utilizing Reiki, because I feel like Reiki is just, it's so easy to use, and a
Yeah.
lot of visualization is very much about the mind, and it's very much about the third eye chakra. So when you awaken the third eye chakra and the third uh, eye, you essentially start having an easier time visualizing as well. And you can use third eye activation videos, but you can also practice meditation. And meditation is a method you could use is, maybe it doesn't have to be a specific object. You just take any object that you put in front of you, like the only object that you use or have in your periphery of your vision. And then you just close your eyes and you try to imagine this object as long as you can.
Mm.
And this is maybe a more boring method than the Reiki method, but it helps you maintain a certain image in your mind longer and longer if you practice this every single day. And as I said, it could be a glass, it could be a dot on the wall,
Yeah.
and this gives you this mental endurance to better visualize things.
That makes sense. And also what you shared about when your third eye is more open, it tends to be more of a, you tend to naturally visualize easier. And
Mm,
yeah, because years ago I had a hard time with that, but today it's like the moment you start to talk about something, I'm visualizing that already.
mm,
And also, I noticed it was at a certain point in time where I started to see light around objects, and wasn't when I was trying to see it. It was just like I started to notice it, and I think that might be uh, relative to when your third eye starts to open.
mm. And I also think to bring it back down to earth, it's also about how we are as human beings and how we learn as human beings, because a lot of people are maybe auditory learners or visual learners, and it's very dependent on how you are as a person as well, what
Yeah,
kind of path you want to choose, and what is most beneficial to you. And visualization is not for everybody, because if you're a person who has an extremely hard time visualizing, even though you try again and again and again, maybe you should try practicing your spirituality in another way. And I believe that we all have an individual destiny, or an individual experience of the spiritual path. And it's very important that you find out what your own path is, and then you follow it yourself, and not
yeah,
do what other people are doing always.
yeah, so true. And you're right, we're all uniquely wired differently. We've all, I like to look at it as when you're putting together a puzzle and you find that puzzle piece that looks like it's the same color and the same shape, but you try to jam it into the puzzle and it doesn't want to fit.
Mm.
Sometimes we're trying to force ourselves into something based on what we see around us, not necessarily what's true to our heart. And
Mm.
yeah, so that's a very, very important point. And sometimes when we compare ourselves to others, we'll say, well, I don't have that, or, we feel the sense of lack, but we all have true spiritual gifts. And I think part of it is just going within and recognizing the uniqueness that you are. So yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. That's really important.
Of
Well,
course.
also, like I said, I'm going to share with the video. You have 3 channels, and then it's Reiki Master Jonas, Divine Manifester, and Hypno Guru 1111. Now, what is the difference between each of these channels, if you can share with our listeners?
So my main channel is Reiki Master Jonas, or Reiki Master Jonas Kristensen, which is about remote healing. So this channel is all about Reiki and the energy of Reiki. And on this channel, I share Reiki for every purpose that you could imagine. And my goal with this channel is to help as many people as possible and to share Reiki for any purpose, any problem that you might have in your life, and also any disease or ailment, so you can receive Reiki no matter what issue you're facing. And this channel I've made in English and also Spanish, Hindi, and Chinese as well. And then I have the Hypno Guru channel, which is about hypnosis. And on this channel, I do subliminal videos combined with Reiki energy. So the videos that you will find there is about um, accessing your subconscious mind while also affecting you as an individual on an energetic level, using Reiki at the same time. So imagine that you were trying to find the love of your life or the perfect romantic partner, for example. I've made a video which uh, using a subtle audio, so it's nothing that you can hear with normal hearing levels, but subtly there's messages embedded in these videos that convinces your subconscious mind that you are finding the perfect romantic partner, that you feel good about yourself, you're confident in finding a new partner, and you're attracting a perfect romantic partner into your life. And combined with this, there's also Reiki to attracting the perfect romantic partner into your life. And this, when you listen to these videos, you start reprogramming your subconscious mind and also releasing any blockages, limiting beliefs you have. Maybe you had some traumatic experiences in your early age, or anything like that, that maybe a blockage for you to find the perfect romantic partner. And as you listen and use this specific video over time, you slowly, wipe away everything that is standing in your way, and you also build up new confidence, new energies, new convincing belief systems that convinces your mind and your subconscious mind that you're actually attracting, for example, the perfect romantic partner. And these videos I've made for every purpose, almost, also. So almost no matter what you're in need of, I've made a video for it to help you. Then my last channel is Divine Manifester, and on this channel I do mantra music, so chanting of all the sacred languages, specific mantras from, for example, Sanskrit and Hebrew, and these mantras are known from, for example, the yoga traditions, and from India and stuff like that, where you chant a specific mantra to reap the benefits of the mantra itself, what is called mantra city. So what chanting is about is, maybe you could take a mantra like Om Namah Shivaya. Then when you chant Om Namah Shivaya maybe 500,000 times or 1,000,000 times, you theoretically unlock what is called Mantra City, which is the reward of the mantra. And these videos is about making you able to chant all the mantras that are available in all the different sacred languages. So that's all my channels, and I have a lot of different things to offer. But my main focus and my main channel right now is is my Reiki healing channel, Reiki Master Jonas.
Nice, nice. Well, thanks for explaining that. And I used subliminal, what do you call it? Subliminal programming
Yes.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I found it very effective. It's one of those things. I went to a workshop. A teacher called Eldon Taylor, I think it is. He wrote some books on it. He did studies where groups of people received a subliminal. There was like a group that I guess was like the non-group or whatever, but he did studies, and anyways, he was able to plot and record data on the transformation with different things. Stop smoking, gain confidence. I use it for confidence, for sales, and for public speaking, and I found it
Mhm.
actually to be very effective. So I'm glad you created a channel around that as well. I'm going to go back and explore some of those for
Yeah.
sure.
And I feel like for a lot of people when they start like you did having good experiences with subconscious programming, and also Reiki, which is maybe a next level step from for somebody, because it's harder to believe that it's possible for a lot of people, but it becomes a lifestyle, because
Yeah,
when you experience that you can program your consciousness to have any experience essentially, and also attract certain things into your life, why wouldn't you do it every single day? And that's what is so incredible about these tools, both the subconscious mind, but also Reiki, is that it's completely free and it's available every single day. And you can just use it to transform your life for the better, and also to help other people.
nice,
Um, so that's why I'm so in love with these practices, and I also see what they can do for other people around the world.
nice. Well, Jonas, I really appreciate your time today, and as well as your dedication to humanity and how you've been called to be able to put so much time into developing of these videos. And a call out to the audience, please follow Jonas and check out his YouTube channels. I will put those down below. I find that this is very, very beneficial. We can all raise our vibration from a lot of the work that you've done, Jonas. And if you have any final words that you'd love to share with the audience, words of inspiration or thoughts that may have recently come up, what would they be?
Well, a thing that popped into my mind is like we talked about, how can you serve other people, and how can you start right now today? And I'm very pragmatic, and I feel like a lot of spiritually interested people, and also a lot of people in religious cultures, they spend so much time studying and talking about what's the truth, and uh, who's right or who's wrong. But I think what we really need is to be more pragmatic and to use
Mm.
spirituality and the tools that it has to offer. And that's why I commend all who are listening, and to all the people who hears my messages, to use, for example, a tool like Reiki to start healing planet Earth every single day, start healing humanity, because it's never been easier. All you actually have to do is press play. And something that I also want to share is this meditation, which gave me this Kundalini awakening and opened my heart in the beginning, like I told you about. It's called the Twin Hearts Meditation, and it's created originally by Master Kuksui, and you can find it on YouTube. And this is something that's more an active meditation, but this is something that will open people up completely free to using your own energy healing abilities and pranic healing abilities to heal your life, heal humanity, and heal yourself, and just overall get a better life if you do it every single day or just regularly. So this is some of my final words, but I also want to thank you, Ron, for having me on this show. It was an honor, and I just want to give my highest blessings to everyone who's listening, and to you as well, Ron.
Thank you, Jonas. We will definitely have you come back on the show if you're willing. I would love to have
Of
you
course.
come back again. I appreciate your time It's been extremely valuable for me as well as for all of our listeners.
Thank you
So much.